as a partner here and to work closely with your wonderful staff. So now I'd like to introduce the Executive Director of Bay State Community Services, Daurice Cox.
Thank you, everybody, and thank you for this opportunity to share a few words for this wonderful event. One of the things that I know is important to all of us is treating the people that we serve with dignity and respect. I'm hearing that from everybody that has spoken today. And having a facility like this that welcomes people in, that shows them that they're important, that this is important work, and having such a state-of-the-art wonderful facility with amazing curriculum makes such a difference for the folks that are coming in and serving. And we thank very much OCC for doing that and putting the time and energy into making this happen. I do want to share a little bit about Bay State Community Services. We are a comprehensive social service agency, and yes, we've been working for 25 years together, which has been amazing. But one of the things about Bay State is people always ask me about our continuum of care, right? And we are primarily a child and family serving agency. That's our core. We do residential emergency shelter for youth. We do a lot of home-based services. And people ask me, like, why are you doing community justice support centers? Why are you doing restorative justice? And my response is, that is the core of the work that we do. It is critically important. It's really quite simple. Our children and our families need their parents, they need their family, they need their siblings, they need them to be healthy. And that is what we do here. And our participants, they need their family to be whole. They need to be able to get back into the community and to re-engage and really be part of their family's life. We wholeheartedly believe that providing these critical restorative justice services creates healthy communities and ensures healthy development of children and families. And I thank OCC and all the partners here for that. Over the years, I've seen some remarkable transformation in how we do this work. And I've been very fortunate in my career to really be involved with some amazing transitions, empowering families, winning the fight and continuing the fight against substance use disorder discrimination, as well as discrimination against behavioral health, and really looking at how we're making sure that programs address systemic racism. We all know how important language is, and I was so impressed with the leaders of OCC. They understood this, and they made it a point to change the names from the community corrections to community justice support centers. And a number of people have commented on that. That wasn't just words, that wasn't just language, that was a true commitment to make a substantial change in how we're doing this work. They have worked tirelessly, they have had really, really hard conversations, and really to make sure that every participant gets quality services for everybody. I do want to take a moment to talk about the partnerships, which we've all talked about, that OCC has developed with Bay State. And I'm going to say it's relatively easy for a big, sort of kind of system to partner with a social service agency. We get referrals, we communicate, we do different things together, and it's all good. The real work that's been doing here is a real partnership. It's hard work, it's dedication, and it's commitment, as well as a lot of patience, as we would all, sort of kind of verify that, because we have very different ways of going at this work. We understand and respect the importance of each other's roles and responsibilities. There's real listening to each other and planning together. It's not this happens. It's really wrapping around the folks that are coming here and making sure that we're giving them all the supports so that they can have meaningful changes in their lives. This partnership has created a balance of accountability, which is critically important, as well as the clinical services, which is just as important. And it's truly remarkable. Without the OCC's real commitment to this leadership, we would not be celebrating today. I believe that most everybody in this room really has made a commitment to be a healer, a helper, a change agent in this community. And really being part of this in every way possible is changing the lives of some of the most challenging folks that are in our community that have experienced a number of hardships. It really does take all of us working together. I always think of the, sort of we are at the end of this process, and a lot of times we have the benefit, we get to see people grow, be with their families, and I think about the courts and the police and probation. You don't always get to see that. And I want you all to know that it takes all of us. It's critically important. We all have such an important role to make sure that we're giving the folks that are participating here a place to be. So I am eternally grateful to have this program, to have such wonderful partners in the Plymouth community, and thank you all for your support and continuing to do what we're doing. Thank you.
Achieve long-term positive change in their lives. We provide cognitive behavioral treatment for substance use disorder and decision-making, education, job development and support, and community service to our clients. So now you're going to get to meet the real heroes behind the scenes that do the work every day here. I also want to comment on Nicole Champagne, who is a Director of Corrections with Bay State, as well as Cheryl Portman, who are from Bay State and help us out on a daily basis with any questions or concerns. I am going to ask our treatment manager, Christy Diller, to join me up here. Christy has been with the Plymouth Center since August of 2015. She started as a counselor and was promoted to treatment manager in April of 2017. And also noteworthy, Christy is a senior master sergeant in the United States Air Force, and we are very lucky to have her as a leader.
Hi everybody, I'm so privileged to be here today. Looking at all your smiling faces. I'm not going to be as well spoken as some of our other guest speakers, but I would love to introduce my team. I'm Christy, I'm the treatment manager here at the Community Justice Support Center. I want to take a moment and introduce my staff. I'm going to start with my senior clinician, Candace Hallinan. Lisa Scanlon.
Thank you, Christy. So if you look around the center today, you will see a common theme of starfish. And I'm gonna ask Carly Stokes to join me up here and recite the starfish story. The story was chosen by our staff for today because it is a good reminder to all of us that the smallest thing can make a difference. And if you touch just one person, we must not let that opportunity pass by without doing so. Thank you, Carly.
Star Thrower story. There's a story I would like to share with you. It was inspired by the writing of Lauren Isley. Isley was a very special person because he combined the best of two cultures. He was a scientist and a poet, and from those two perspectives, he wrote insightfully and beautifully about the world and our role in it. Once upon a time, there was a wise man, much like Isley himself, who used to go to the ocean to do his writing. He had a habit of walking on the beach before he began his work. One day he was walking along the shore. As he looked down the beach, he saw a human figure moving like a dancer. He smiled to himself to think of someone who would dance to this day. So he began to walk faster to catch up. As he got closer, he saw that it was a young man, and the young man wasn't dancing, but instead was reaching down to the shore, picking up something and very gently throwing it into the ocean. As he got closer, he called out, "Good morning, what are you doing?" The young man paused, looked up and replied, "Throwing starfish into the ocean." I guess I should have asked, "Why are you throwing starfish into the ocean? The sun is up and the tide is going up, and if I don't throw them in, they'll die." But young man, though you realize that there are miles and miles of beach and starfish all along it, you can't possibly make a difference. His response surprised the man. He wasn't upset. He didn't know how to reply, so instead he turned away and walked back to the cottage to begin his writings. All day long, as he wrote, the image of the young man haunted him. He tried to ignore it, but the vision persisted. Finally, late in the afternoon, he realized that he, the scientist, he, the poet, had missed out on the essential nature of the young man's actions, because he realized that what the young man was doing was choosing not to be an observer in the universe and watch it pass, but was choosing to be an actor in the universe and make a difference. He was embarrassed. That night he went to bed troubled. When the morning came, he awoke, knowing that he had to do something. So he got up, put on his clothes, went to the beach, and found the young man. And with him, he spent the rest of the morning throwing starfish in the ocean. You see, what the young man's actions represent is something that is special in each of us. We all have been gifted with the ability to make a difference. And if we can, like the young man, become aware of that gift, we gain, through the strength of our vision, the power to shape the future. And that is your challenge. That is my challenge. We must find each our starfish. And if we throw our stars wisely and well, I have no questions that the 21st century is going to be a wonderful place. Thank you.
Perfect. I just want to welcome William Duff to the podium. I had the honor and privilege of working with him as his counselor while he was here as well the entire time, so it was amazing to see you successfully transition, and we look forward to hearing your story.
Hey everybody, my name is William. A little nervous, didn't think I would be, but just to let you know who I am a little bit, I'm a third generation drug addict. My father and my grandfather, both heroin addicts. Really never thought I had anything else much to look forward to. Product of the system, in and out of DCF custody. My mother fought real hard. My mother was no drug addict. She tried to hold the family together, and I watched it tear her down. And I remember one specific day, cops came to my house, they arrested my father, and I remember watching her leave, and I remember saying to myself, I never want to be like my father. And 7 years ago, I realized, I was worse. I didn't have my kids in my life, and to be honest with you, at that time, I didn't really care about my kids. All I cared about was getting high. That's all I really cared about. It was the only thing that made me feel good. It was the only thing that I thought was my friend. My mother got really sick. I was my mother's boy my whole life. I was protecting my mother, made sure my father didn't hit her. And it was very abusive in my house. And when my mother got sick, it was devastating. She got pancreatic cancer. She was diagnosed and she passed 5 months later. And that 5 months, I sat by her side the whole time, from Beth Israel Hospital till she passed in Stoughton. They made a bed for me and everything. I didn't leave her side, and watching her pass was one of the most life-changing events. I got clean next to her. I kicked my habit, and it was a struggle trying to stay clean after that. At this time, I hadn't seen my kids in almost 2 years. And I guess getting arrested in 2015 was probably the most life-changing experience because my kids saw me get arrested, and I saw myself watching my father get arrested, and that was it. To this day, my relationship with my kids still isn't great. They don't trust me. They told me that numerous times, and I've thought numerous times about going back to using drugs. So many times, I'm just saying the hell with it, But sitting in jail, and somebody mentioned drug court, and everybody, don't do it. It's a setup. Don't do it. It's a setup. You're gonna end up in jail. You're gonna end up in jail. And I remember sitting in jail, and I was in the quarantine, and I was by myself, and I was coming off of methadone. I was coming off of all kinds of drugs. I was having seizures, and I woke up at Beth Israel Hospital, and I know how I got there. They told me I had a seizure, and they had to pull me out of the jail, and I was cuffed to the bed, and I didn't want to live like that anymore, and I made a conscious decision right there that I was going to do drug court because all the people that told me that it was a setup sitting in the cell with me, so I guess it is a setup for people that don't want to stay clean because it's a hard program. It's hard. Many times I wanted to say, I'm out of here, I'm out of here. This center I despised it. To be honest, I despise almost everybody in this room. To be honest, I was a drug addict to the fullest. I was a part of being a drug addict, and I I was content with that. I was content with sitting on Mass Ave. I was content with begging for money. I was content with it because I didn't feel like I deserved much more than that. And today, I still don't feel I deserve it. I don't feel I deserve anything. I feel I made my bed and I have to lay in it. Like I said, my relationship with my children still isn't great. But knowing that, all the people that Judge Julian sees on a daily basis, for him to sit up and still remember my story with my kids in New Hampshire and all that, like that says something. Like there's people out there that care, and like I always thought this place, they're just working for a paycheck. But getting text messages, how are you doing, out of the blue, like that ain't part of their job, and like that really showed me that these people really care. And this makes me very emotional because I've overdosed over 25 times, most I can't remember. I've been in detox over 100 times. I graduated so many halfway houses, and I never took it serious. I never wanted to take it serious. I never wanted to be sitting here. I idolized, since I was a kid, I idolized the streets. I idolized, I thought going to state prison was like, graduating in Harvard, and thank God I never made it that far. Probably should have. But today my life is so much different. I still have so many problems. I still have many, many shortcomings. I'm not perfect, as much as I want to think I am. I do see my kids a lot more now. They're starting to trust me a little bit. One of my kids I have twins, and they're 13. One of them's the exact opposite of me. One of them is me to the fullest. And it's scary. It's extremely scary. But that's why, that's why I'm really trying to change my life around, and it's hard on a daily basis. I'm still struggling to get my license back. I lost a great paying job because of my license. Even in the past couple of weeks, the thought of using it still passes my mind. I go to High Point, I'm still in the clinic, working my way off of it. But this place really changed my life. I did not want to be here. Did not want to be here at all. Signing to Zoom every Tuesday and Thursday, having to go to court every Wednesday. First couple of months, I hated it, despised it. Then it became Monday and I couldn't wait till Wednesday. I couldn't wait to get to court because I started feeling good about how I was doing. At first I felt horrible on the inside, so I wanted to look good on the outside, and I thought that was good enough for me. But then looking good on the outside it wasn't enough. I wanted to start feeling good on the inside, so I really started paying attention to this program. I really started paying attention to what they were saying. I really started paying attention to the structure of it and why it's structured like that. And slowly but surely, my life started making little bits of changes. And I got my kids back in my life. I got some of my family back. Some of my family still doesn't talk to me, and they probably never will. A lot of different things, a lot of little things. A lot of the big things haven't fixed themselves yet, but a lot of little things that I cared about the most are. And it was those little things that used to pull me back out. It wasn't the big things, it was so many programs, but some reason, I don't know what it was, maybe it was being forced into it at the beginning and then looking forward to it in the end. Really not sure. It's just, I still can't figure out in my head why this program worked. I can't. Maybe it was because I saw that the people actually care. They weren't just here for a job. They would reach out to me, like I said, in the middle of the week, just, how you doing? And like looking over at this thing, they would give you incentives to, make it to class and make it to the drug testing. They do everything they can to try to incentivize people and like make them realize there is a better way of life. You just gotta actually want it and not listen to other people. You just gotta listen to yourself. I'm just rambling, but at the end of the day, I'm so grateful for this program because no other program really works. Recovery Court was really a very big eye-opener to me. I saw that there's people out there that care, especially especially in the justice system, because I thought the justice system was against me my whole life, and now, I realized that just trying to help, I never really took anything serious, but the most thing I take serious right now is my recovery, because if I don't, I'm gonna die. I know it. I know I don't have another use in me. I don't, because if I do, it's gonna be the end of my life. Especially nowadays, the stuff that's out there is just dropping people left and right, and the biggest thing is the stigma of Sparks and methadone, and I appreciate everything you guys have offered from the beginning of the invitation, and everything you guys have said. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much.